It's time again for the Science Bowl.
Zoo Parade for 5. What big teeth the hippo has are actually a pair of these. Science Potpourri for 10. Would a snake most likely eat every day? Every week, Dateline Science for 10. Why are some elephants wearing necklaces these days? Green things for 15.
And now, here's your host, Mr. Z himself, Dave Zarin.
Thank you and welcome to the Science Bowl. Today, 2 outstanding elementary schools vying for the chance to go on to the quarterfinals. Let's meet them now. First, from Samuel Massie Elementary School, making their very first appearance ever on Science Bowl. Would you please say hello to Mikhail Demissi, Donnell Powell, and Preston Upchurch. And from Whitehall Elementary, please say hello to Scotty Solomon, Brandon Velasquez, and Kennedy Riggins. And now here are the categories of questions we use on Science Bowl.
Okay, Mr. Z, here's today's categories. Green things, questions about plants and all things green and growing. Zoo Parade, a Noah's Ark of questions about animals. Body systems, we'll see how much you know about yourself, about things like breathing and growing and digesting your food. Let's get physical. Questions that test your knowledge of physics and chemistry, earth science and space science. Then there's Science Potpourri. Here's a grab bag of science questions, everything from air pollution to the kitchen sink. And finally, Dateline Science. We'll ask you about science history and science in the news.
Here on Science Bowl, our game board reflects question difficulty, with the easier questions worth 5 and 10 points and the tougher ones worth 15, 20, and ultimately 25, the toughest question of them all. Both of our teams start out at 50 points. No penalties ever for incorrect answers. Down to the 2 rounds, we will have a competitor come back to play Oakcrest Elementary School for the chance to go on to the semifinals. Let's go over and make sure everything's working properly. Samuel Massie, would you try your buzzer for me? Thank you. The red one works fine. Mikhail, Donnell, and Preston, you're ready to go. Brandon, try your buzzer. Okay, the green one looks like it's good too. You and Kennedy and Scotty, good luck today. Are we ready to play this game?
Yes.
Let's do this. Let's have a great time. You guys look wonderful. We go alphabetically, S before W. So Samuel, Massie, Donnell, give me a category and a number, please.
Zoo Parade for 5.
Zoo Parade for 5 points. Teams, according to the recent movie Tangled, Rapunzel lived in her tower for 15 years with her only companion being a mute reptile. Whitehall? A chameleon. Pascal, the mute chameleon. I was about to tell you, a lizard renowned for changing colors. Yes, go green.
Body systems for 5, please.
Body systems for 5 points. Teams, if you're really sad, you're about to cry, sometimes you get a lump in your what? Samuel Massie. What do you think, Donnell? You get a lump in your what?
You get a lump in your chest.
In your?
In your chest.
Not your chest, no. Whitehall. You get a lump in your what if you're about to cry?
Heart.
Not your heart, your throat. You get a lump in your throat. Try again, please, green.
Body systems for 10.
Body systems for 10 points, a multiple choice question. Teams, if peristalsis is moving air through your intestines, are you about to burp, hiccup, or growl? Whitehall.
Burp.
Nope. Samuel Massie, peristalsis, moving air through your intestines. Are you about to burp or hiccup or growl?
Growl. Growl?
Growl, yeah, your stomach is growling. And oh, please hope people aren't thinking it's me. It's actually in your intestines and not your stomach. Okay, red, go.
Let's get physical for 5.
Let's get physical for 5 points. Teams, whether it's in the center of a hurricane or a typhoon, the center of any cyclone is known as the what? Samuel Massie. Yes, sir.
The vertex.
The one?
The vertex.
Not the vertex, no. The center of a cyclone, be it a hurricane or a typhoon, is known as the what? The eye of the hurricane. That's what we want to hear. Good. Green.
Green things for 5.
Green things for 5 points. Teams, Nissan's new electric car is named for this plant part that deciduous trees drop in the fall. Whitehall.
Leaves.
The leaf. It's called the Nissan Leaf Car. Absolutely right. Okay, 65 for Whitehall, 60 for Samuel Massie. Good game. Go green.
Dateline science for 5.
Dateline for 5 points. Teams, your question is as follows. If you're the kind of kid that doesn't like your potatoes to touch your peas and you want your cereal dry or you only want a certain kind of milk, you have what's called selective eating disorder, better known as what kind of eater? Samuel Massie.
Picky.
You're a picky eater. That's right. Good. And now we have a name for it. That's a disorder. We're all that way. Go red. Tie score.
Science potpourri for 5.
Potpourri for 5 points. Teams, when you wish upon one of these, it makes no difference. Whitehall, a star, whether it's a red giant or a brown dwarf. That's right. From Jiminy Cricket and Pinocchio. Go.
Green things for 10.
Green things for 10 points. Teams, your question is as follows. Beauty queens and trees have what same headgear in common? Samuel Massie. What do you think, Donnell?
A bouquet.
Not a bouquet. Good try. Beauty queens and trees have what headgear in common, Brandon?
Crown.
A crown. That's right. Kennedy knew that one. You crown Miss America and the tops of the trees. That's the crown of the tree. Go green.
Green things for 15.
Green things for 15 points. Teams. Green turtles are as green as they are is because they eat so many of these aquatic plants. Algae is right, Whitehall. Please wait until I acknowledge you before you give your answer, even though I like your enthusiasm. You got the points. Go.
Super 8 for 10.
Super 8 for 10 points. Teams, when fish spawn, what do? Short question trips them up.
Swim in a circle?
They don't swim in a circle. That's a good try. When fish spawn, Samuel Massie, what do?
Do they offspring?
Again?
Offspring.
Offspring. Give me more.
Reproduce.
They reproduce. That's right. That's when they release the eggs and the sperm into the water. Good answer. Good. Good comeback. Go red.
Body systems for 15.
Body systems for 15 points. Teams, new cardinals in the Roman Catholic Church wear a cross known as a pectoral cross, which hangs in the middle of their what? Samuel Massie. Where do you find this pectoral cross, Donnell?
In their chest.
On their chest, that's right. It's halfway down their chest, not up here around the neck. Good. All right, the buzzer has rung. That means the end of the first round. You are playing very well. I hope you keep this up in the second half. Our score 90 for Massie, 95 for Whitehall. Round 2 coming right up. Don't go away. And welcome back to Science Bowl. Thank you for spending part of your day with us. We have 6 great players here. The score testifies to that. Just 5 points separating them. Let's meet our teams. Let's go first to Samuel Massie at the top of the show. I was saying this is the first time ever in our history that Samuel Massie has played our game. We are so delighted that you're here making history for your school. Mikhail and Donnell and Preston. Donnell, tell us about Samuel Massie. Where is it?
It is in Forceville, Maryland.
Absolutely, and I think it's just across the street from Andrew Jackson, isn't it?
Yes.
And I actually got to meet Samuel Massie and his wife many years ago. He was a famous scientist involved in research with nuclear energy and quite a chemist as well. Tell me who the principal of your school is.
Mrs. Michelle Peglin.
Yes, and she's out there rooting for you. And you have 2 sponsors, don't you? Who are they?
Miss Mafate and Mr. Douglas.
Wonderful. And they're here today and they're out there, you know, nervously watching you, hoping you do well. They can relax you. You guys are doing just fine here today. Did you have any alternates on your team?
Yes. Khalid Taylor, but he's not present today.
Okay, so it's just the 3 of you guys, right?
Yes.
That's all we need. You guys are more than enough today. Tell me about yourself, Donnell. What do you want to do someday?
I want to be an FBI agent.
Yeah, we were talking about that before. So you want to get into law enforcement, yeah?
Yes.
And what do you do in your spare time for fun?
I get on the computer and I read books.
Yeah, and I can tell you read books because you're so well informed and so knowledgeable. Reading really makes all the difference in life, and you're starting out young on the right foot. Preston, you like to read too, don't you?
Yes.
Yeah, what kind of books do you like?
Fiction books.
Fiction books, all right. And what do you like to do if you're not reading?
Well, I usually play with my dogs and, well, play with my brother too.
Ah, you play with your dogs, plural? You have 2 dogs?
Yes.
What are they? What kind of dogs?
Beagles.
Beagles. Ah, what's their names?
Molly and Hershey.
All right, and maybe they could, well, do they watch TV?
Sometimes.
Yeah, maybe they'll recognize you. Mikhail, nice to have you here today. Tell us about yourself. You have a big goal in life, don't you?
Yes.
What's that?
Being an artist.
Be an artist. And this is a young man who likes to draw and sculpt, and you'd like to do that professionally someday.
Yes.
Yeah, so you're a very creative young man. And why did you want to be on our show? You must be a good science student, too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I was asking him earlier, I said, how did you get chosen for this team? Well, we were all pretty smart. Well, we can see that. They chose well. Nice to have you guys with us. And you're wearing your matching uniforms today, aren't you? All right. Whitehall, nice to have you guys here. And I think this is your second time in our history. Of course, Whitehall is relatively new. It was an old school, and then they brought it back again. Who's your principal, Brandon?
Jerez Campbell.
Yeah, he's been here before. He's a great guy. And who are the sponsors of your team?
Miss Smalls and Mr. Carnes.
Wonderful. And they're out there. Then you were not originally scheduled to play this year. We had a cancellation, so we were glad that you could join us this year. Brandon, any alternates on your team?
Yes, Bria Johnson.
All right, we'll bring her out in just a little while. And tell me your story. You are in the heavens. Your head is in the clouds, right?
Yeah, I love astronomy. I like researching it sometimes, and I like looking up at the stars, trying to find constellations.
And the thing about that is, we'll never know it all. It's just a vast unknown, and, it seems every day they're discovering new exoplanets and new places, new galaxies.
Hopefully we finally find one that we can live on.
Exactly right, yeah, because the way we're handling this planet, we're going to need somewhere to go someday. Yeah. All right, nice to have you with us. You have a nice spirit, Brandon. Kennedy, nice to have you here. You've weighed in with a couple correct answers here. How do you know so much about science?
Well, it's basically because I just study a bunch of facts, and then sometimes I print them out and study them when I'm traveling.
You're obviously a very good student, and you even wrote that on the paper that you gave to me that you really like science facts, and that shows here today. That's coming into fore as you really do well. Tell me what you do in your spare time if you're not looking up science facts.
Sometimes I used to work on my face painting business, and now I still draw, and yeah.
So you and Mikhail have some things in common creatively. You said a face painting business, so you actually charge people to paint faces? Mm-hmm. Wonderful. All right. Scotty, nice to have you with us, a young man who's a aspiring herpetologist. You've got a leopard gecko at home, and you have something else.
I have a male beta fish. His name is Michael.
A beta fish. Are those the ones that fight?
Yes.
But you have just one?
Yes.
Okay, and he doesn't fight the gecko, of course.
No.
No, okay. Why do you like lizards and fish and things like that?
I don't know. I guess I've always been interested in herpetology, and for my 11th birthday, which was actually passed about 2 months ago, I asked my parents if I could get a gecko, and they said yes, and so I got a baby leopard gecko, and I named him Yoda.
Wonderful. All right. I can tell that you take very good care of him and read up and find out exactly what his needs are. Nice young man. Good to have you here. Let's get back into our game. Massie, 90, 95 for Whitehall. Lots of points to give away. Last correct answer came from Donnell. So Donnell, start us out.
Zoo Parade for 15.
Zoo Parade for 15 points. Teams, the horned frog is the mascot of the Texas Christian University. Some people call horned frogs horned toads, but they're neither frogs nor toads. They're actually more related, Donnell,
to amphibians?
Not amphibians, no. Let me finish the question. Those horned frogs and horned toads, they're neither. In fact, they're more closely related to geckos and iguanas. That makes them what?
Reptiles?
More specifically.
Cold-blooded reptiles.
Cold-blooded?
Lizards. Lizards is what we're looking for there. All right, that was right up your alley, Scotty. Go, Red.
Let's get physical for 10.
Again, please.
Let's get physical for 10.
Let's get physical for 10 points. Teams, it takes over 300,000 cubic feet of this gas to fill the balloons at the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade every year, Whitehall.
Helium?
Helium, that's it, yeah. Here comes SpongeBob down 5th Avenue. Go, Green.
Dateline Science for 10.
Dateline for 10 points. Teams, the arsenic that some bacteria recently learned to incorporate into their bodies in a lake in California is actually now found in their genetic material, which is familiarly known by what 3 letters? Samuel Massie.
DNA.
DNA, you got that right. Thank you, Preston, for your assist on that. Go, Donnell.
Science potpourri for 10.
Potpourri for 10 points. Teams, children going to the dentist and people going through airport screening machines today are worried about exposing themselves to too much what? Whitehall.
Weight?
Not weight. Samuel Massie, children going to dentist's office and people going through full body scans at airports are worried that they're being exposed to too much what? Radiation. Radiation with x-rays. Go red, please.
Let's get physical for 15.
Let's get physical for 15 points. Teams, look at the monitor in the studio, please, for this question, if you would. This is a polymolecule. The face you see there is Pittsburgh Steeler Troy Polamalu, and he is in a molecule. If that's the case, each of his faces represents an individual what? Samuel Massie.
Is it cells?
Not cells, good try. In that polymolecule with Troy Polamalu, each of his faces then represents an individual what?
Atom?
Atom, that's right. Atoms assembled to make a molecule. He's got a head of hair, doesn't he? Go green.
Dateline science for 15.
Dateline for 15 points. Multiple choice question. Teams, President Obama was on Mythbusters, the TV show last week. He challenged the host to solve an ancient mystery. Which of the following Greeks supposedly destroyed a Roman fleet with a giant mirror and the sun? Was it Hippocrates, Ptolemy, or Archimedes? Which of those Greeks supposedly destroyed the fleet with that mirror? Whitehall.
Archimedes?
Archimedes is right, absolutely right. They have not yet proven that. Go, green.
Green things for 20.
Green things for 20 points. Teams, when green tea is oxidized, it turns into black tea, and it also increases the amount of this stimulant in the tea. Caffeine. Caffeine, that's the stimulant. It gets more caffeinated. Go green.
Dateline for 20.
Dateline for 20 points. Teams, two-part answer. New research says that we're doing too much of a good thing. We're getting too much of what? 2 vitamins that can be found in fortified milk and sunshine and orange juice. What 2 vitamins? Whitehall?
Calcium and vitamin D.
Ooh, not quite. Finish your answer.
Calcium and vitamin C.
No, good try. Samuel Massie, what 2 vitamins that we find in sunshine, fortified milk, and orange juice, apparently we're taking too much of. It's too much of a good thing. Give me the 2 vitamins.
Vitamin A. Is it vitamin A? It's vitamin C.
Gentlemen.
Vitamin D. Vitamin C and vitamin D?
You got them both. That's what I want to hear. C and D. Good. Red.
Zuparate for 20.
Zuparate for 20 points. Teams, look at the monitor in the studio, please, if you would. Yes, that's a deer in the headlights. We've all seen this. It turns out deer are most active at dawn and dusk. They're crepuscular, which means at that time of the day, the pupils of their eyes are what? Samuel Massie.
I think it's gray.
Yes, sir.
Gray?
Gray, are you saying?
Gray.
Gray, not gray. At that time of the day, dawn or dusk, when those lights hit that deer, the deer's pupils are what?
Stunned?
Dilated. Dilated. They're very wide open. That's to accommodate the darkness. So when that light hits them, they're stunned for a moment because the pupils have to constrict first before they know to jump out of the way, which is oftentimes too late. That was a tough question. Go red. Score update, 120 Massie, 135 Whitehall. Darnell, advantage you.
Body systems for 20.
Body systems for 20 points. Teams, if a person is a diabetic, he or she literally has to become what organ in order to survive? What organ? Whitehall.
Liver?
Not liver. Good try. If a person is a diabetic, he or she literally has to become what organ in order to survive? Gentlemen. It's the pancreas. The pancreas. The pancreas is the organ that produces the insulin, so you've got to somehow find that insulin and take the place of and be the pancreas that you no longer have. Try again. Tough questions now. Donnell, you pick it.
Zuparate for 25.
Zuparate for 25 points. Teams, what red-colored pigment in red blood cells, I'm sorry?
You put it on green things.
All right, and you chose Zuparate for 25. All right, so the green things, 25, will still be available. All right, fine. Okay, this is Zoo Parade then for 25. Thank you for pointing that out to us, Donnell. I start again. What red-colored pigment found in red blood cells that carries oxygen is found in the strange lizard called the tuatara that lets them, unlike most lizards, be active when it is cold? Samuel Massie for 25 points in the lead. Name that pigment. All right, don't be ringing in unless you have an idea. Okay? Whitehall, can you give me the name of this red-colored pigment found in red blood cells that carries oxygen that is found in this lizard called a tuatara to let it be active during the cold?
Vessel?
Hemoglobin. Hemoglobin is the red pigment that carries blood in ourselves as well. Try again, red. And keep in mind that green things 25 is still available.
Science potpourri for 15.
Potpourri for 15 points. Teams, the carbon dioxide bubbles in soda and champagne that burst in your mouth and tickle actually have a taste. They are like one of the 4 basic tastes that taste just like lemons and limes. What taste is that, Whitehall? Sour, yeah. Bubbles have a slightly sour taste. Go green.
Let's get physical for 20.
Let's get physical for 20 points. Teams, automobile travel only became available to large numbers of people when scientists finally discovered how to make an engine that runs on internal what? Internal what? Massie.
Fuel?
Not good try, not internal fuel. What kind of engine? An internal what engine made auto travel available to the masses?
Gasoline?
Internal combustion. Combustion that's burning and exploding inside to drive pistons up and down. Try green.
Body systems for 25.
Body systems for 25, the big one in that category. Team's famed African-American physician Charles Drew discovered a method for preserving this liquid part of the blood. What do we call the liquid part of the blood? Come on, Massie. What do you think, gentlemen?
The veins?
Again?
The veins?
Not the veins, no. What do we call the liquid part of the blood that Charles Drew learned how to preserve?
Plasma?
Plasma it is. All right, you pulled that one out of the hat. Thank you, Scotty, for your help there. Go, Brandon.
Let's get physical for 25.
Let's get physical for 25. That'll finish that category. Teams, your question is as follows. Soapstone is a very soft metamorphic rock that you can almost cut with a butter knife. It is made primarily of what's softest of the minerals. What softest mineral is what makes up soapstone Whitehall?
Chalk?
Oh, good try, not chalk. Samuel Massie, you can answer this question for me. What is the softest of the minerals that is primarily the component of soapstone? Great answer is talc, as in talcum powder. That's the softest of the minerals. You played really well. We'll come back in a moment with a wrap-up. Don't go away. And welcome back, a hard-fought match. We are proud of all 6 of our players. Our final tally today is Samuel Massie 120, Whitehall 175. You guys did it. I can see the smiles on your faces, how happy you are. Scotty and Brandon and Kennedy, you played a super game over there. Bria, nice to have you here as our alternate. Miss Smalls, you do so much there at Whitehall and for science. Congratulations to you. We'll see you in the next round. And Massie, what a debut you made. We've waited 25 years and it was worth it. Mikhail and Donnell and Preston, you're getting claps from Whitehall. And Mr. Douglas, thank you for being here. Mr. Mafate, I hope you'll come back. Don't wait us another 25 years. Thank you, guys. You were terrific. And thank you for watching. We'll see you next time on Science Bowl. Bye-bye now.